Just a little boy lost looking for lamb in the all-night city, living in his lonely limousine.
Hello there, it's Bex from channel bexbugoutsurvivor, and I think we all know the importance of having water. Now I've brought with me a water filter, I bought with me a water canteen. They're all in the day pack today, but I haven't got any source of water, so really I need to know how to look for that water. Now there's several techniques you can use. We're a bit late in the morning to find out some of them, but it won't stop me because I've got quite a controversial bit of kit. It's a water finding machine, and I was in two minds whether to do this episode or not, but I'm going to show it you anyway. I've had it for about 3 years. It works for me. Apparently it can work for anyone. So if you've got your filter, you've got your canteen, you need a machine to find water.
Dial another number, no one home. So then it wastes his time with TV, and it wonders if it lost it all.
Well, here's my shelter behind you of some blackthorn. It's enough to give me shelter. The pack, very simple. It's only a rambling pack. I should have had a brew flask in here, but I haven't. The old binos always come in handy. And if I open the pack, we'll delve in and have a look. Okay, you'll have to forgive me for any wind noise here. We're right up on a ridge. I found this. It's a molly pouch, goes on the outside of the molly bag, and it's just right to fit a smartphone. It's not what I wanted to show you really, but let's have a look what I've got in here. I brought with me the old survival knife because I want to practice making some friction fire. Won't be shown today, mainly because I'm not very good at it, but I need the practice. It's the Lifesaver bottle, pump action, so I can sterilise any water, and then I can canteen it as well. And with these canteens, if you unclick this and have a feel of that, it feels like a felt. In the olden days that would have been bear fur, and you'd have dipped it in a cold stream, keeping your water inside nice and cold. Still not what I want to show you. The water finding machine itself is right here. And I don't know if you can see these, just copper L bracket in a swivel that rotates. Got two of these. That's what I need to find water. Now I've had these water finding machines for about 3 years, and they've worked almost every single time. There is a science behind why these work, but I'm just buggered if I know what that science is. Hundreds of years ago, maybe even 3,000 years ago, something like this was used to find water. Back then, 3,000 years ago, they wouldn't have been a copper like I'm using, but there'd have been a willow branch, and some people can even find water using willow branches. More recently, in the 1600s, it was believed this was witchcraft, hence their names witch sticks. And of course you and me will know them as dowsing rods, and it's very simple. you just hold them in your hand and they swing freely, and you'll form a cross for if the answer is no, and they'll open up into a V if the answer is yes, or the which sticks want you to follow between that V. So I'll walk between and follow. Of course, I could just hold one and just think water. I just think it all the time and it'll point me. So this is going to be so hard to film because I've got a lightweight pack, and so is the recording equipment. So no tripods, no camera jig. It's just me and the camera and the backpack. So I'm going to start off by showing you how I use witch sticks. I think we'll rename these for survival purposes. A water dowsing rod is fine, or we'll think of another name. We can give it a more up-to-date spin on witch sticks. Now, first of all, I need to make sure that the dowsing rods and myself are in sync. So I need to think to myself, what is the answer for no? And if you remember, it's a crossed rod. Now I'm going to try and get the answer no for you just by thinking it. Let's get this into shot. I can actually speak out loud to these sticks. Please show me the answer for no. There's one going over. I need them to cross. I don't know if you heard that. There's the cross. I've never done this and tried to film it at the same time. It requires a hell of a lot of concentration. Now, let me show you something. It's just a copper bar in. This is freely rotating, the handle. I can twist that, and what it'll do is discouraging me from waving it about trying to get a positive result on purpose. Show me the answer for no. Show me the answer for no, please. There you go, there you go. When I want the answer to be yes, they should open up. I'm thinking yes, I'm thinking yes, I'm thinking yes. There they go, there they go. I'm thinking no, I'm thinking no. I don't know how it reads my mind. There's the no again, there's the cross. Now usually this also symbolises where water is directly underneath. You can just walk through a field in a straight line with the dowsing rods and just get it to lead you to water, and when they cross there's usually water down below, but that needs digging for. I want to find fresh running surface water, and I've brought myself to a place where I'm not overly familiar with. I think we've done a couple of shoots here in season 1. It's a nice place to be, but I don't know the lay of the land to know where the water is. So I can also use just one dowsing rod and get it to point the direction of the nearest surface water. Now I'm going to try and do this with one hand and the camera jig in the other, just so we can get a bearing of where I'm heading. Am I heading due south? I'm heading due north? You know, if I can just get a bearing, I can hold just one out in front of me. Okay, let's see if we can get a bearing of surface running water. And I don't even care if it's a dirty puddle, I'll take it. I've got a filter for that. Again, apologies for the wind noise. Isn't it beautiful here? Okay, I'm just going to use the one at the moment. And all I'm thinking is surface water. I'm going to have to give myself a bit of peace and quiet, so I'm going to stop yabbering on and we're just going to look at the direction of the point of the rod. It's all over the place. All right, just give me a few seconds. And where the rod is pointed now seems to be where it wants to settle. I don't know, I might have just got a false reading. All I asked in my mind there was nearest surface water, and here's where it was pointing, and I think we might have got a false reading. I'm not too sure. Right down here seems to be some kind of very boggy area here. I didn't really want to be digging. I haven't brought a spade out, so we're going to reroute probably lower down and see what we can find. I'm only going to use the one rod to start with, and then I'm going to introduce the second rod to myself to get a finer fix on where I think the water is, and we'll go over some of the science behind these sticks. Like I said, I don't know all the science behind why these work, but they've been used for over 3,000 years. People are still doing it. You wouldn't do it if it didn't work. Right, let's pack up the canteen and filter and start heading for some water. It really does keep pushing me around here. I'll try and keep the handles together so you can see what's happening. It's not an ideal top view. There is some wind. I'm trying to keep these as still as I can, and all I'm doing is rotating around in the field, and they've opened up and stayed more or less at this point. So I'm going to walk through here. Oh, they're pointing me again over this way now. Again, I'm just going to rotate, wait till the stick's fully open out. One of them has got a cross there. It's not surface water. They've really opened out here, almost going backwards. I'm just going to use the one to get a general idea of where I should be going. Find me some surface water, please. Point, point, point. I'm going to move very slowly at first. It's like using a compass. It is moving everywhere. I've never had this before. I don't know whether there's electrical interference from the camera, because dowsing rods do work on ley lines, which is an underground source of energy, and it also can be an underground source of water. But I want to find surface water. A stream would be fantastic. I think we're getting a lot of interference here. I'm not sure whether dowsing with electrical equipment is right. It seems to be pointing in the way I would find water even without rods. I'm going to bring in the other rod and see what happens. Yeah, they've opened right out there. And I'm meant to follow in between where the rods are opening out. Yeah, I seem to be keeping quite a steady little course here. It is taking me downhill, which is about right to find water. So let's stop and think about how we would usually find water without rods. I have hills all around me, and I really should be heading downhill. Well, here I seem to be on the summit where everywhere is downhill. I would look for a valley, and we haven't hit a valley just yet. And we're miles from one as well. So I'm looking for any kind of dip in the land, and I'd look for areas. Oh, crikey, that scared the hell out of me then, a little flying thing. And we'd also look for areas that are a lot greener in colour than anywhere else. And I'm thinking here is a lot greener than that in the background. That would be a good place to start. And if I come up to the trees, there's no bird life. There is no bird life in these trees. It's not a good place to actually start to look for water. Birds will only roost and fly nearby a source of water. So if any doubt at all, follow the birds. I'm tempted to head that way for that greener patch of grass there, which is in a dip. So there might be a water course there, but I'm going to double back on myself and follow where the rods say to go, which is over there. And I'm not dressed for this today. I've only got my comfy little trainers on and no socks and full of nettles. We're going to find another way around. On this side of the skyline you'll see the evergreens. Absolutely gorgeous, it really is. Little turret in the background. I can hear my friend the eagle, and now he must be hunting, and they can hunt within 3 to 5 mile radius of the food source, and I assume water source as well. Anyway, as we were saying, there's the evergreens. Now here's what we'd call the woodland, and woodland trees need a lot more to drink than these evergreens. So let's have a look at the clues. There's the woodland. These aren't evergreens. It'd be a good starting point. This camera's not going to pick it up, but there's a section here which is very green, very lush. I'm going to start heading that way. Now, I'll only periodically open up the camera when we find decent clues. I can't hear the birds singing. It's not good. I can see the woodland. Now them trees like to have a lot to drink, so that would be a good way, and it is heading downhill. downhill would be a good way to go to find water. So I've come to the top of somewhere I'm not too familiar with. Been here a few times, but I haven't actually looked for resource. I've always bought resource with me, water, filters, things like that. I haven't even got a raincoat today. And if we look at the cloud, here's another clue for water. When is it going to rain? I'm currently at about 600 to 700 foot over sea level, and the cloud must be the same again. That bank of white cloud there is lower than the greyer cloud at the top at the moment. And if I keep the camera still, we'll see how much wind there is pushing these clouds. They're hardly moving. Usually this place can be in a really low cloud bank. Even at 600-700 foot, the clouds will be more or less right above me when it gets really bad. Anyway, I'm going to cut the tape off and just follow the rods, and I'll come back to you as and when I find clues or the rods are giving me a signal, a good signal. The sticks do seem to want to source me back to where we were, funnily enough, uphill. There's got to be something up there. I'll have to come back maybe on a separate second video, depending on how this one goes, whether I do it with you or without you, because not everyone is into this kind of thing. There is a science behind it, but you know, it's so complicated. Ley lines, energy lines. I mean, the world is sitting on a mantle which has an inner core which is spinning, which gives us a magnetic north, and we can always find magnetic north and true north. You can find, looking at the stars, I'm finding the North Star. That never changes. But a magnetic north is set by polar energy from both poles, North Pole, South Pole, and that energy runs all the way under our feet, and so does the water, and water puts off a massive energy, and it's that energy that I'm trying to follow here. I'm just using the one at the moment. It does, look at that, it keeps pushing me back up that hill. I don't want to be there. I'm going to rethink to myself, no, I want a lower source of water, not uphill. I can usually just think to the stick. Oh, look at that, it's pointing dead ahead there. And because I've got a filter, I don't care what type of water it is, whether it's a stream, a puddle. And when this stick does a 360 on itself, I know I've gone too far, but I'm hoping to find this water source before either this film runs out or it goes night time. It is pushing me downhill. We're going the right way, and it's wanting to push me through here, through this forest, or woodland forest. No, it is a forest. Keeps wanting to push me through this forest for some reason. It's trying to push me uphill again. I don't want to go uphill. I want a lower source of water, please. A lower source. We can just get a bearing on where it's pointing. Straight through this forest. So that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to put these away. Keep me pack on. I've got some binoculars. I can look out, and I Can't hear running water. Can't even hear birds. I'm in a situation where I was desperate to find water. I'd have followed that first source. I've got to be so careful I don't get lost here. I've never tried using 2 rods in the same hand. Oh, it is working. Look at that. I've never tried that before. And I want to go between the V. So I'm just moving ever so slightly. Yeah, that way. Don't know why it's bringing me this way. It's so quiet here. And of course there's a good reason I didn't want to do this episode, because a lot of people will think it's mumbo jumbo. It's some kind of evil, but I don't know why and how it works. I just know it does. There are plenty of other dowsing rod episodes that'll show in a lot more detail than I can, and they can explain the energy of the ley lines and water lines, energy lines, a lot better than me. Where is it taking me? I've never held 2 in the same hand. I've got a camera in my left hand and 2 of my sticks in the other. It's working well. I am really happy with that. I never even thought of doing that. Now I don't want... I'm wondering if these rods are trying to cross. There is probably... It is getting damper underfoot. I'm sure if I brought my spade with me and started digging, we'd find moist ground. But I want running water. And I am not stopping until I found it. I'm just going to take another reading. Little rabbit hole. Let me take another reading. Make sure I don't want these rods touching. I'm going to set one a little higher than the other. I'm going to need to concentrate a minute. It's still taking us that way. I'm still on course. I'm checking every 10-20 metres, make sure I know where I am. Actually, I know where north is. Let me try and put the camera jig somewhere, and I will point where north is and see if the sticks know where north is. Oh, that'll do, that'll do. I've never actually tried finding north. North is where my hand is now, approximately. I haven't got a compass on, and I haven't got any shadow, and it takes about a quarter of an hour to make a shadow stick. So I'm just going to set it out and think north, north, north. I've stopped thinking water. North, 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 north. It's not bad. Not bad. Veering off. Okay, find north, find north, find north, find north, north. Following it, following it. It's pretty good, it's pretty good. That's pretty bob on. That's bob on. Come with me. And I've also found my lost car keys that were They'd fallen down the side of a cabinet at home, and I couldn't find them for love nor money. Got the old sticks out, asked the sticks, are they upstairs? Crossed, meant downstairs. Are they downstairs? They opened. And the next question was, room by room, with a yes or no answer, are they in this room? Are they in the next room? And then I asked just one stick to guide me to my keys, and it did take about 20 minutes of asking and being in a mentally deep state of relaxation to do that, and it's hard to relax when you're getting stressed out about where your keys are. So as far as I know, these things can find whatever you're thinking, whether it's water, magnetic north, or in fact gold. And a lot of people pan for gold, and they've been using witching sticks to find their source of gold before they start panning. It's a fascinating science, and I'm sure there is a science to it that mankind hasn't got to grips with just yet. And this is why so many people are skeptics. They don't know the science, therefore it's mumbo jumbo. And it was a lot like me when I first got the sticks, and they were only a few quid. You can make your own, by the way, copper coat hangers, and if you pop them in a drinks bottle, make an L shape, put the handle in the drinks bottle so you have free movement, you're not forcing the sticks to do what you want. It's the same effect, and from what I've researched, 97% of mankind have the capability of using these. Right, I'm going to take another reading. It's asking us to go that way. I'm going to stick to the footpath though. I don't need to be hurtling through all that. I'm going to take my time. All I want is fresh running water. I've got a real thirst on now. Yeah, we're coming out of the forestry here, and on the other side of me we're getting into woodland. We're really on the right kind of mental path to be finding water. Still no bird song. If I could hear bird song, I would know they'd be roosting, nesting or foraging near a source of water. Birds do not generally roost or nest away from water. They can fly a good fair distance from their nest to get it, but in this case I'm going to take another reading. There's a path here. No, it is keep pushing me downhill. The sticks are pushing me northbound. I'm waiting till I hear birdsong or actually hear water, then I will be impressed. And what do you know? Remember me saying before about the cloud bank coming very low? I've just felt a few spots of rain, and if you look up, there is the grey cloud, and I don't know if you can spot the blue there, and the cloud is moving faster, and it's north, so it's heading towards the west. So the wind is pushing the water, the rain from the clouds west, and the sticks are pushing me north. I wish somebody would come up with a better name than these besides dowsing rods or witch sticks. I quite like witch sticks, it gives it an air of mysticism. But I mean, people could actually sell these on survival channels. It is a tool. It is a water finding tool. It's as good as anything you'd put batteries in. I bet you if I made you a pair of these and just told you you put batteries in the bottom of there, you'd buy them. But it runs free of any energy at all. I'm going to take another quick reading. Or I might have just passed the water source. So I'm going to get to the road at the bottom, head north and then head west to where the rain's coming in, funnily enough. Okay, let's carry on. Anyway, the sticks have brought me here. I'm at a field and I'm going to try and calm my mind right down now. I can hear birds. I'm at the bottom of a very big woodland. It's telling me to go across this field here. I know where it's pointing. I can find that barn and we'll take a ride over there. I've walked from Captain Montgomery there to where we started the episode, and I want to go back up there. Yeah, we'll do that on another episode depending on how this one goes down. I might just go up on my own because I'm curious to why it's pointing water uphill. There must be a spring, I think. I'd love to find out, but no matter where I stop, it is pointing me the same direction. The clouds are lifted. It's telling me to go right towards you. And let me try and work out some topography here. We might be able to take a shortcut. In front of my finger, where are you? Somewhere down there, just in front of my finger there is an old barn, and it seems to be pointing me there, and I know where that is. Might just go and take a look there. If I was to start finding water more naturally, you can see the grass is getting a lot more lush. Oh, it's a big green patch. That's hugely green. I bet you there's some sort of undersource of water there, underground source of water. And it's the same, if I bend you over ever so gentle, I bet you can see that right now through the camera. I'll zoom in just a little bit. Look at the difference. Now that's not any kind of trick of the light or shading from the clouds. That is actually very, very boggy. Oh, we've got to be so close. I'm looking for a V, a natural kind of formation in the land where water would fall and run off. So water would run down here. And I don't know what that is behind that fence there. Oh, all the clues are here. I must be so close. I'm going to try and find somewhere to park up and we'll walk the rest of the way. So here we are at that shed. That was just a speck on the end of my finger before. I'm going to take another bearing, another reading. I'm as far as I can make out being as still as I can this way. And before, I've just put you up there while we was filming somewhere here. I had 3 crosses, one here, one there and one there. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was a flow of direction, an inflow and an outflow. When I concentrate very hard and ask for an outflow, it's pointing me along this tree line. And again, look at that, they're not evergreens. And if I can just try and do this one-handed again to get a flow of direction. Now I'm going to move and see if the sticks do. Now they are. It's if you can imagine a sheepdog herding the sheep, it's herding me this way. Look at that, they've opened right out. I have to walk between where it's pointing. And even if I try and purposefully turn like this, they do not want to go that way. And I'm going to purposely turn around and face the wrong direction. Whee, that was a big swing. Oh, so that was me moving it that time because of the swing. It's doing it again. I'm going to concentrate and ask it for the flow of direction. I'm just going to do it with one. It's going to be so much easier. I want it free flowing as I can. So I'm going to ask for the flow of direction, keeping it as straight as I can. Somewhere between there and there. Okay, I got it. Let's roll. Okay, it's an absolutely glorious day now, it really is, and I wish we'd have carried on to that first location the sticks was going to send us, strangely enough, uphill. It might have been a spring or something, but instead we followed our source right down here, and still these sticks are suggesting we go that way. In fact, you can be in charge of the sticks. If you're looking, you're seeing what I'm seeing. See, I always try and walk in the middle of that V. If they change, I change. It's heading that way. I can put the sticks down. It's given me a direction, and if you've seen other episodes of bexbugoutsurvivor, especially those in episode 1, you'll have seen us travel this route before. So I know over there's water. So it's not really a fair test of the old witch sticks, but it's a real shame. It's a real shame. I know there's water there. The sticks also know. But just to satisfy my own curiosity, maybe on another episode, or maybe I'll just go on my own. I don't know. It depends what the response from this one's like. We'll go back uphill, searching for water uphill. It's never been seen. Anyway, let's look at some of the clues. We've got woodland trees. I can hear bird chatter over there. I can hear someone's power drill. And the land down at the bottom of this slope here is very green, very, very green. I'm going to follow it down. So like I said before, if you've been on the trail with me on other episodes, particularly the first series, you'll have seen that we know there's water down the bottom here. I know there's water down the bottom here. So maybe you might say it's not really a fair test of these, but the simple thing is to make your own. A couple of cotton rods bent into an L shape, and you can just put the handles in a kid's drink bottle, and that way you're free from making any conscious decisions. These should be an unconscious way of working. You follow what they say, these sticks, not the other way around. So let's try and get that bearing again. You're in the wrong light, but it can't be helped. I hope you can see what these are doing. Can you? You might be able to make them out. This time you're in charge. We're going to walk between the V of the sticks. They're swinging about, telling us this way. These sticks do not like any kind of electrical interference, such as what the camera's putting out. I've never noticed it before. I've never had a problem with electrical equipment shorting out the ley lines. We're coming into some very lush green area now, and I bet you if I put the back of my hand onto that very lush green area, it should be damp. And remember, it's a beautiful day. Look at the clouds behind me. Look at that. This is a seriously nice day. It's damp from the dew from the morning. I want to feel the actual, get my finger, I want to feel if the soil is damp. The soil is damp enough. We're going to see how the sticks react when we actually get to the water. And I'm pretty sure that's water down there. So just watch your footing as we go down. My word, look at that, look at that. This isn't where I'd expected I'd come out. I needed to be further that way. The sticks brought me to the nearest possible way of getting here. They were trying to bring me through the overgrowth, the barbed wire. You see, the sticks think like a crow would fly north. That's all they think, and you've got to try and dodge around these. I'm going to try and find a flow of the river. Just by simply holding them over the river, we should get an uphill and a downhill direction. Can't say that word. Trajectory. Direction. Okay, that way is flowing out. That way is flowing in. Let's see what the sticks make of it. It's not bad. This will be a great little opportunity to get a drink of water. we need that. I've got 2 of these. I think this is the broken one. It's not flowing very well. Okay, that's the back of the pack. Filtered some water for the, oh excuse me, canteen. This seems to be the broken lifesaver. I've got 2 of them. It's not pumping very well. And my water finding machine. Okay, I'm going to pack up and start heading home. I know I said it was going to be a controversial little episode. You're going to get those amongst us who are suspicious of this kind of thing, the skeptic. And so was I before I got these sticks, and to my astonishment, actually to my amazement, they did me fine. And it didn't take long to get used to them. It didn't take long to practice. You can be up and running with these within just maybe a few hours. It's very intuitive. Like I said, there's better channels on dowsing, but not everyone has thought of dowsing as part of their survival. But I think can be one of the first, or one of the few, who have now got a water finding source in their bug out bag. I wouldn't be without them. Until next time, take care of yourself, give it a try, and I'll see you next time.